Hello, hello. You are now listening to the O Monologue Podcast with your host, me, Omar, aka Young Burnout, aka Young Astronaut. I am totally unprepared for this week's episode. Actually, usually on Mondays or Sundays, I go on like a little spree on Google and just search, like headlines, news, culture news, and shit like that. But I wasn't really busy Monday, like all day Monday. But at my job, I'm in charge of compositing videos. I'll talk about that. But it just came up too much work, and I ended up just being too distracted to not get those headlines done. But hey, I got what I could today, and today's gonna be sort of a story day. Hopefully, I got some headlines, but yeah, I got some stuff about some movie reviews that I've seen this last week, some vomiting in a restaurant and other vomiting stories. I used to work at another job called IKEA and whatever. I got a whole bunch of shit planned out, but hopefully I can even make it, cause half of me didn't really want to record this today. I don't know why, but after 3 weeks of trying to do it all myself, I just stopped giving a shit. Or is it just, I guess I wasn't prepared for me to just be okay with recording today. I don't know. I've recently heard some playbacks of what I've said in the past 2 episodes, and I'm kind of dumb. Just in general, I'm dumb. So I should have a disclaimer saying the views you're about to listen to are not of anybody else's but this dumbass. Enjoy the show. Alright, so yeah, talking about my job a little bit. So I work at a 3D animation studio. I am extremely humble about it. I don't really tell anybody what I do, nor do I go around and say, hey, what do you do? Oh, you're in retail. Haha, I work in a 3D animation studio. I actually found it off Craigslist, man. So I'm extremely, grateful that I have this job. And I found it in a very unorthodox way. But hey, it's fucking amazing pay. Just part-time for now. And I'm working on a bunch of little animations for inventions. And I'm in charge of, like I said, compositing videos. And by that I mean I use this program called Adobe After Effects to, put these animations together, add a couple of motion graphics behind it, boom, render it, and send it off to the client. Now, it's as easy as it sounds. It did take me a long time to be good in After Effects, but now with this couple of maybe 1 year full of experience of working there, almost a year of working there, I've done a lot in After Effects, and I've learned a lot. So I'm very comfortable with the program right now. I should put my phone in airplane mode. I mean, no one really texts me. No one really answers my messages. I just want to be cool like the other podcasters. Yeah, so animation studio is dope. We used to have 6 co-workers there, but alright, so guys, just real quick, if you hear this creaking, it's just me laying back on my chair ready to go all full story time. No, but yeah, we used to have 6 co-workers there. I think that's including me or not. I don't know. I don't want to name all of them because although they're all cool, they're not with us anymore, but they're still alive. I don't know. I try to make that funny, but it was kind of funnier in my head when I was thinking about people death and stuff. That was just funny, but it's not really funny when you think about it again. Man, it is a gorgeous morning outside. I cannot wait to get my day started. But I've been thrown totally off topic already. We had 6 co-workers. One of them ended up leaving because of, I think, my manager needed, I don't know. All right, so you tell me, guys. You tell me this. So my manager was having problems with finances, and a lot of companies weren't giving him a lot of work. So what he does is talks to a bunch of these different companies that are ready for let's say, to have their invention be brought up in a 3D atmosphere and then have a video, some 3D modeled render images in a package, and they send it off to whoever wants them. But I guess that company that is in charge of that wasn't really getting all of their work processed in time for us to get it and get paid off of it, because apparently some shit changes where before anybody can just come through and give them an invention, but now they're doing some sort of like vetting process where they're just gonna be like, all right, this works, this doesn't. The one that does work, we're gonna end up giving it to this guy, which is our company. But if it isn't that great, then they're gonna be like, all right, but guy, sorry, we're gonna have to ask you to do more like work or give us more information. But before, you can give us like some half-assed image of something with some descriptive rather a description about what you want, and then boom, off of that we'll make a 3D model. But whatever. Because of that process, we went from down 1 to down 5. My manager was just trying to conserve his money in the right way, and eventually just said, all right, we're only gonna keep 2 people, the rest we gotta let go. The second guy that was told to stay left after telling my boss that he was gonna stay. I don't know why, but I mean, to each their own. But yeah, now for like a good month or 2, it was me and my manager just working with each other. I'm there quiet, I'm behind my computer, and then he just comes up to me every now and then. What the fuck? Since when? Today is Tuesday. The fuck, you guys are late. Fucking trash people. No, not that those people are trash, but the trash men are outside my fucking house picking up the trash, making a loud ass noise with their. I don't know what the fuck is making that noise. Is it the motor? Is that like the thing in the inside crushing all the trash? I don't even know how it is. I want to know how it looks like, but I don't know how. I don't know how it smells. Wow, can't just fucking say a right sentence. I just want to know what's on the inside of that garbage truck. Not the smell, but the way it looks. But I know if I go in there, the fucking sourness of the cheesy onions are just gonna fucking burn my eyes off. Anyway, the job is cool. Oh yeah, now we have 2 other coworkers, a refy dude and some like young guy who came out of college not that long ago. He knows a lot about animation. He's like one of my manager's aces now, but I don't know. Oh yeah, what's not fair that they're all both full-time and I'm still part-time. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? He tells me he wants me full-time, but I'm like, alright, then get it to it. But when I'm there at work, I'm doing nothing for like, alright, so I work for 8 hours when I get there all the time. But now, it's like I only work for like 4 because everything is easy and like doable within those 4 hours. And then I'm eating shit for another 4 to 6. Like, I could be done. I worked at 11. I could be done by 2, like before 2, and that's our break from 2 to 2:30. By that time, I'm done. Like there's days where I finish at whatever, man. I'm here complaining about like a really good job and shit. Yeah, last week I said that I was gonna go watch a couple movies, and I did, and they were all fucking amazing. Alright, first movie, Detroit. It was cool. It was not what I really expected it to be. I really thought it was gonna be like a movie about riots and like social activism and like social commentary about riots and stuff like that, about racial matters. But actually, it was just a dramatization of an event that occurred in these Detroit riots, and it had to do with like a hotel called Algiers Hotel, where in the movie it was portrayed where white cops tricked black men into trying to admit who were shooting at them rather aggressively. Not shooting them, they were questioning them rather aggressively. And in the end it was just supposed to be about race matters and how how things occurred back in the, I think it was like 40s or 60s. I'm not there. I'm not. I had to look back into what year it was, but some backlash that I read on was that it was white people, like it was a white director, and I want to say it was like a white screenplay. It was a white artist. A white writer. I did not know that when I watched the movie, to be honest. Now, it was intense. That movie really did catch me off guard. It was a pretty much a good thriller of a movie. You don't know what's gonna happen in that motel, well, in the hotel scenes, especially the way that they played it out, where it was just like one long strung act. It was a good long strung second act. Yeah, for sure it was a long strung second act. And although it was pretty suspenseful, it did catch me off guard in a very bad way. Like, it really did shine the light on police brutality, but shit, it led more up to the story behind that. What do I mean by that? Like, there were a bunch of black people placed on a wall, being yelled at, saying who shot at the cops, and there were white women on that wall, and then of course the cops laid more judgment upon the black men and the white woman, and then they almost killed off the black guy who was in the same room as the white woman when they were captured by the police. And although the black man that was in the room said that he wasn't doing anything with them, he was just trying to like keep them company because he was staying at the hotel. He was fresh out of the Air Force or something like that, and the cops were basically still racially discriminating him. It was really sad, and it was tough because that shit's real. I would get into it, but this is just my movie review. So Detroit, really good movie. I'd watch it. Then next up, on Sunday, there was like a double feature that I myself attended, like not made myself attend, but it was a double feature that I wanted to go watch. They showed The Lion King, the original fucking animated Lion King. Now, that is my favorite movie. Does it mean that I haven't seen a lot of other good movies? Yes. Does it mean that I can appreciate Lion King although I do intend on seeing those movies? Yes. I do intend on making Lion King my first number one all-time top favorite movie. And then, I don't know, I'll probably say like Godzilla right at the end, like Shin Godzilla. Fucking love Godzilla. Right. Lion King. I mean, we've all watched Lion King, so I'm not gonna go review the movie. I just know that there's gonna be a live action movie, and it's looking up to be a really good movie. I don't know who's playing Simba, but they already casted Scar. They casted Sarabi, which is Simba's mom. They casted Beyonce as Nala, which is the female lion that finds Simba. I don't know if did they sign a Simba? I'm not sure, but it's a live action movie. I hope they don't do that live action movie like they did with Jungle Book. Holy shit, Jungle Book fucking sucked. The live action movie, dude, watch it again, and just study Mowgli. Study the actor who played Mowgli. Mowgli in this movie is the worst fucking actor I've ever seen. Although he is this like 9 or 10-year-old boy, he doesn't really know how to act in front of a green screen. Now, how do you know how to act on a green screen since you're not really interacting with what the movie shows you're interacting with? I don't fucking know. But do your fucking job. Alright, sorry for saying it in that way, but producers or directors, I don't know who was in charge of that movie. Why don't you just watch a draft of the way it's gonna look? Don't perfectly model the 3D render of it, but, well, yes, do your perfect 3D model render of it, but you should do reshoots. Do the initial test behind the green screen or on the green screen. Track everything you need to track. Put the 3D objects in where you need to put it in. Have the footage interact with each other. And if you notice that some shit is way off, take reshoots. Do reshoots. It'll suck if it was like expensive to make. And I guess that's what like the VFX part behind it was like took really big chunk out of the budget. But come on, guys, how are you gonna make such a shitty rendition of a good movie if you can't really like direct your only man or your only human actor? If everything was perfect digitalized, and fucking craft your actor a little bit, fucking do reshoots, man. Fuck, I'm very passionate about how much I dislike that movie. Fucking Jungle Book, Disney. Better not fuck around with Lion King. Oh Lord, if they fuck around with Lion King, fucking give a scar all up in the whole production studio. All right, next up is, what movie did I watch? Oh yeah, Mad Max in black and white. Mad Max in black and white was amazing. Since I had not seen that movie, I did not know what to expect. Seeing it in black and white made it much more intense for me. I really did enjoy the drama behind every shot. I didn't know Tony from Skins, from the original the original United Kingdom's Skins, before it went to MTV and made it to the American ones, as one of the white not zombies, was it zombies? Like soldiers, I don't know what they were called, like that army of like white bald people. And it was weird. Wow, I don't know if I remember correctly, but there was like a scene of a black guy looking at the camera real quick, and then you don't see him at all ever again, which is a little weird. But I mean, hoping everybody's seen Mad Max. I'm not here to review Mad Max. I'm here to tell you that Mad Max was great in black and white. Now I do intend on seeing it in color, because there were many scenes where I was like, wow, they really made this look really cinematic. And you know, if it was black and white and I can already tell like there was a greatly cinematic shot, I would just wonder how it's gonna look like in color. Originally, like, I don't know how long, maybe like in the 1930s or 40s, when the Oscars were coming out, they did have a division where it was best picture for black and white motion pictures and best picture for color movies. I don't think they're gonna keep doing that. I mean, I don't know, they stopped I think in the 50s or the 60s, so of course they're not gonna do that branch again. But it was cool that they gave best pictures for the two different types of movies. Something to be, keep an eye on. Well, besides that, that's what I did on the weekend. I hung out with a good friend last year that did a episode of the podcast with him. But I did intend on releasing the old episode. The old episodes of the old monologue. I think there are like 5 or 6 in total, where I had guests come over and we had a really grand old time where we all laughed and made a bunch of jokes. But instead of making them, instead of just putting them out there like the way that I do these YouTube videos, I'd actually like to animate everything. Now, animating would cost, it's like a whole hour's worth of fucking wow, I have a fucked up throat right now. It would be an hour's worth of footage. So it would basically be meaning that I'm making like a little mini movie, and that would take a long time. The only time that I could actually be like, the only time I could actually get away with doing that would be if I were to take my time at work, upload the audio somewhere, listen to it on my little laptop that I have, and at the same time, animate what I have in mind. I mean, I'll see what I can do. That's just kind of hard. An hour's worth? Fuck. I can make it easier on myself and just do what I do now, which is add like little images, like in between like animations. I'll have to see. Wow, I'm doing a bad job keeping up today. Okay. Fucking on Friday, I get out of work and I hit my friend up and I'm like, yo. And then my friend hits me up and he's like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm at work right now, but I'm down to do some shit after. He tells me, yeah, me too, bro. So after work, I hit him up. He tells me that he's in the area. Tell him to go, like, let's go get a couple of drinks. I'm coming from Kendall. You're coming from I don't know where, but meet up. Like if we meet up halfway, it'll be at like some Flanagan's on Kendall, and like somewhere in Kendall. So we met up in Flanagan's. Everything was hella expensive. I mean, everything was hella full. Then we went to some place called Duffy's. I've never been there, but we did have a really cute waitress. Well, yeah, I ordered. They had some great. They had a cool ass special where they was like 24-ounce beer 2 for 1, and I was like, what? I'm there drinking it, thinking like it's all good, not knowing how many bottles of beer. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Not knowing how many bottles of beer it actually is, consisting of 24 ounces. If a regular one is 16, then I'm pretty sure 34 is like 2 bottles and like a little bit or something like that. I'm not that sure. But anyway, funny thing is, I don't know what had me that fucked up. I think it was because I chugged the end of the first one that got me a little wheezy, and I chugged 124-ounce or 34-ounce right before our food got there. And then when our food got there, I was sipping like regular because I wasn't trying to like vomit. But by the end of the day, I'm fucking full as fuck, almost like kind of sweating because it was what I was eating. I had a bunch of hot sauce on it, so I'm there like fuck. I'm a mess. I feel like a fucking pig. Next thing you know, our waitress sits down next to us and asks us for our like cards and like chit chats a little bit. And at that same moment, I'm getting clammed up. I'm getting kind of sweaty, and I'm like, what's going on? Oh God, I'm just trying to put my head down. Let me just get some water. And then the waitress gets up, gets our cards, and leaves. My friend looks up to me. He's like, yo, are you okay? You need to go to the bathroom or something? You're getting sweaty. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. So then I'm here thinking that my food got poisoned, that I'm about to die. If I'm like, oh, goodbye world, in front of all of these random fat people. But then I got up, went to the bathroom. The moment I closed the stall door, and like right when I turned around to face the toilet, I gave a little burp, like a little that little burp initiated 4 huge pumps of vomit, just like brah brah brah. The third one was like the heaviest too. So it's like second or third to last pump is like always the most like that comes out. Holy shit! But it was weird because I mean I didn't eat fast. I didn't feel that drunk. I don't know. It had to do something with the food. I had ordered my burger like medium rare, so I'm not sure. It could be that the burger itself was like not cooked well enough. Cause like I said, like I wasn't feeling any weird before. After I threw up, I did not feel any sickness, like any Cause sometimes when you vomit, you get like some sort of an upset stomach, and that didn't really happen to me. Right after I vomited and came back, I kind of wanted to eat more. Just because I fucking vomited everything that I had bought. But of course I didn't want to do that. So, we left and called it a night after I smoked a blazy. But, yeah, man, like vomiting is so fucking weird. Like, we all have moments where we just like either eat too much or drink too much. But how did that even happen? I'm still confused. I mean, I've vomited before. It's like a normal thing. I remember when I vomited in like middle school. That's a funny story. So in middle school, a bunch of bad and good things happened. One of the funnier things that's happened. Early, probably middle or early of 7th grade. I had Spanish class. I'm sitting down in the corner. And it was like a silent day or something. Or no, we had a substitute teacher, I think. Well, unprofessional, yawn. So, yeah, so we were taking, I think it was, we had a substitute teacher. We were like eating mad shit. It was like a day off thing where we were supposed to finish our work, and we did finish the work, so we had nothing else to do. I had a friend, I'm not going to say his name, so let's give him a pseudo name of Tree, because I see a tree in front of me. So, my friend Tree sits next to me to the right. I'm doing my work. I'm finished. I'm just doodling or something. And then we went to lunch, right? We had come back from our lunch break. I'm sitting down doing my work, finishing my work. And I was kind of gassy. So I was burping a lot. And, burp, burp, burp. Friends were like, yo, stop, bro. Some other people laughing. I'm loud, but I'm also quiet too, because I'm like, oh, Jesus. Kind of I wanted to get some water or something. As I was going to go get up and get water, I knew this loud burp was coming. Like, one of those good, airy, like, I probably ate, I don't know, something weird during lunch where this burp that I knew was gonna come out was gonna be like that airy, like you could feel the breath come out and it tastes just like the food that you just ate. You've had those burps before. Don't fucking call me disgusting. And whatever. So I thought would be funny to burp in my friend's face. Why? Because I'm fucking in middle school. I don't know how old I was. Immature, that's how old I was. So, I walk up to this guy's ear. Well, no, I walk up to his desk, say what's up, see what he's doing. Then he turns around or something like that, looks at his paper, and I sort of approach his ear, and I try to burp. I burp out the really foul stench burp that you could have. I'm like, aired it out, but then I at that moment, as I'm breathing and burping, like the spawn of Satan decided to just ooze out of my mouth at that very moment. As I'm burping on my friend's ear, I just vomited all over that fucking shit. Like in his ear and his clothes, on his face. Like, I mean, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like a brah. It was more like a baby burp. I don't know if you've seen like a baby burp. Like it vomits, you can kind of spit it out. Well, not you spit it out. Like a baby vomits a bit, spits it out, and it kind of just oozes down. It wasn't a lot of vomit, so it's not like it was a blackout vomit where it's just constant alcohol coming out. I'm talking about like I ate some weird shit, reacted weirdly, just needed it out of the system, and then that was it. So when I vomited, I don't know, it was kind of like white and green. Okay, I shouldn't even said that. I'm weirded out. Yeah, so he was freaked out. The principal teacher actually, he saw this. He knew something was weirded out, but since there was no real like fight going on, he was super confused. So confused that he ordered me to go to the bathroom and ordered my friend to go to the nurse. I don't know why we both couldn't have just gone to the nurse. I would have been like, I'm so sorry. But I never got to apologize to that kid. I was friends with him. We were cool. But, as cool as in just doing jokes, like just telling jokes in the same class. But fuck, I want to say like after that day, maybe I've seen him one more time. But besides that, I've never seen him at all. I don't know if he moved, like if he switched out of school or he dropped out of school or what, or did online school. I'm not sure. But to this day, I have not seen him ever since I vomited in his ear. So I'm so sorry, dude. If you're listening, which I doubt you are, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. And then I had another vomit incident. Well, I had many. Which one should I tell? They're both very embarrassing. Alright, I'm going to tell you the worst one. Alright, so I had a friend who had graduated high school a year after I did. And she had like a house party. And a bunch of people were invited. And so at the moment, I was talking to a girl. Wow, this is really unprofessional. Another yawn. At the time I was talking to some girl who knew this other girl, so she was going to be at the party. So I decided to go to the party. It was fun and all. I knew only one person there really closely as like my homeboy, where if we smoked a blunt together, we're homeboys, sort of. So we're just there chilling in the back in the porch, smoking a bit. And I was thirsty, and I was like, "Yo, I'll go inside to drink." And then the party itself wasn't that great. I mean, people were sitting around, music was playing, people were drinking. Some people were like, one or two people were dancing, but it was mostly like just like chit chat. But I'm deciding to, what is it? Beer before liquor. Never been sicker. And liquor before beer, you're in the clear. So yeah, I drank a bunch of Bud Light. I remember now. Drank a bunch of Bud Light. I don't know why Bud Light is such a weird like drink to have. It's not that weird, but it's just like it's everywhere, It's like that Miller Lite and Budweiser. Like why would fucking people drink that garbage? And it's like anywhere you go, that shit's always on tap. I know in Miami, like in Wynwood or whatever, like not even Wynwood, like bars around Miami have a bunch of different flavors, like local shit and like imported beer. But most bars, like fucking out of town bars, just have Miller Lite, Budweiser, Bud Light. Let me get a Bud. I don't know, but anyway, I'm drinking Bud Light, and I served myself after like 4 buds. I served myself a screwdriver. A screwdriver is basically a bit of orange juice and a bit of vodka. Now, vodka is my favorite type of liquor. Why? Because it gets me extremely fucked up, and I make many life decisions. I have many regrets and doubts when I start drinking vodka, because it gets me really fucked up. Case in point, I end up drinking like 2 or 3 too many, and then I'm like, oh, I feel really clammy. I might need to go to the bathroom. I get to the bathroom. Here is where everything gets messed up. I'm in the bathroom, I take my pants down because I don't know why I had to take a shit. So I'm just there, on my phone, just quivering around. And then next thing you know, I fall asleep somehow. And I wake up in this fucking person's bathtub. From sitting down on the toilet to end up being on the bathtub with my pants down. I'm so confused. I have no idea what's going on. Apparently, a friend of mine that was smoking weed with me outside had come into the bathroom asking where I was because he saw me walk in and hadn't seen me come out for a while. Opens up and sees that I'm fucking laid on the floor with my ass cheeks just out with me just took a shit in the toilet. Friend had told me that I probably had like the drunk shits where I drunk all of my shit. I shit all of my drunk out of me, but I guess it was just too much where it felt sort of like weird and bad that I just like I don't think I blacked out, but I blacked out. You feel me? And then I get moved to the bathtub by myself, saying, "Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with me. Like I'm just blacked out, hard as fuck." So I'm sure I don't remember that. So I'm sure I had a different persona going on. Just end up laying down in the bathtub for a good hour or two, and then that's when I, came to. Noticed there was shit in the toilet, flushed it, but guess what? I forgot to wipe. I didn't know. I wasn't thinking of wiping. I thought, I had just blacked out. Woke up thinking, oh, what the fuck just happened? I feel okay. There's nothing weird about this situation. It smells weird because there's a toilet full of shit. But that's it. So then I flush the toilet, go into this room where this girl was in. We were kind of fooling around, but we slept in early. Next morning I wake up and the whole room kind of smells funky, and I'm like, yikes! I said yikes. But I didn't need to use the bathroom because usually in the mornings I go to the bathrooms. But since last night I took the fucking heaviest shit, my body was like, alright, just wake up, fool. You don't have anything in you. But the room smelled like butt. That same room we decided to smoke in because it was morning and we didn't want anybody to see us outside smoking. And at this point it was me and like 3 other girls. Like, we were all just cool, just like chilling. Whatever. By the end of the day, came back home and I realized, wow, I'm a fucking disgusting pig. I didn't wipe myself, because when I came back home and I decided to take a shower, I was like, ooh, wow, my underwear smells really bad. Oh, wait a minute. All along, this smell was me. Yeah. We all have good vomit stories, and they're all really unappealing. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I usually like to talk about it. Why? I don't know. Got a couple of topics for this episode. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't really prepared, so I just found a bunch of different shit this morning right before I decided to come onto this, my little mini studio and just start recording. One of the things that I had already mentioned earlier today was Godzilla, which being my second favorite movie. Haruao Nakajima, actor who played Godzilla, dies from pneumonia at 88. The guy who died was the one who acted Godzilla in the very first movie in 1954. Here's a picture. It's like this really funny looking Godzilla. Like, he sort of looks like he has like an underbite or something like that, or an overbite. He just looks like a silly fish reptile monster thing. But just, send my condolences to his family. I love Godzilla, as I already said. It's my second favorite movie. The whole as a franchise is my favorite. Talk about it another time if I do, but yeah, this guy was the one that wore the rubber suit. He said, in this article, he said he recalled that the rubber suit he wore was so hot, especially under the glaring lights of the movie set, that the sweat he wrung from his shirt would fill half a bucket. Ew. Damn, that rubber suit must have been feeling like, it must have felt like a furnace on the inside. Right, well, some of you know, some of you, because I don't think a lot of people know, especially the people that, don't know me and decide to listen to this. I used to work full-time at a very nice location. This job called IKEA. IKEA. Now, a lot of people have different things to say about IKEA. IKEA's cool. Working there made me realize that, anything you need in regards of furniture, IKEA has, just in much smaller proportions and much smaller prices. What do I mean by that? Tables and desks don't even have desks. Their desks suck. They have cool chairs, like cool desk chairs, but they're all some fucking indie filmmaker looking ones, like some hipster looking chairs for some reason. Well, IKEA is based on a place called Sweden, over in Europe. Some guy from Sweden, basically, brought up the company IKEA. I found a list about Sweden that says 5 things Sweden does better than America. So as an American who's worked in an IKEA for 2 years, let's see what Sweden does better than America. And I'm pretty sure Sweden is already much better than America. Just point period. Number 1. Finca. Well, here it says F-I-K-A. I was taught F-I-N-K-A. Finca. Every day around 11 a.m., work in offices all over Sweden come to a halt as locals partake in the custom of a finca, a late morning coffee paired with sweet treats like cinnamon rolls and cinnamon bun or cardamom buns. We used to have fincas. We used to call our 15-minute break a finca for some reason, just to make it more coworker friendly, I'd say, and just making the theme of IKEA. I remember our first finca, when I first heard about it, we actually got coffee and like Danishes and shit, and it was really cool. I was like, oh man, free breakfast. But unfortunately, that came to a close when my manager was like, time for a finca, and I was excited, my mouth ready for a cinnamon bun, only to be disappointed by Oh, you thought this was a real finca? Nah, here's some water if you want. Just wait your 15 minutes here and then go back to work. Fucking America. Oh yeah, fincas. If you, why can't we have 15-minute breaks every fucking day? Are you kidding me? We'd be so relaxed. Things would be so great. We would have an actual reason to like talk to people. We're just there having our finca, and then you're just walking around. People are having their coffee, and you're like, "We're having a finca." Yeah, we're having our finca. Like, hey, let's have our fincas together. Well, I mean, 15 minutes is just like a 15-minute break. I don't know how long a finca really is. All right, number 2, style and design. Forget IKEA. How dare you? There's something about that unmistakable minimalist, elegant Swedish look, whether it's chunky knits and geometric jewelries from brands like Acne and other stories, that hint at the sense of humor lurking behind that cool Scandinavian exterior. Style and design. I mean, I haven't really looked through a lot of Swedish styles. If IKEA, although it does say forget IKEA, if IKEA gives me a good idea of how Sweden looks like, because I remember we were shown a video of these people that lived in Sweden and were that said that they had a whole bunch of furniture from IKEA. The house is really small. It reminded me of one of those, like, I don't know if you've ever seen these like London shows where it's like these good small looking complexes with like apartments in them, like an apartment building rather. It's a really small apartment building with doors everywhere leading up to different apartments, and every apartment was this really small, narrow type room, and a lot of them have like a little central hub in the middle, like as a central room, which is like this circle that leads off into other rooms. And from the videos that I've seen, those places were really well furnished and with IKEA stuff like circular lights, weird orange sofas. So I don't know. They probably have much better idea of style than personally I do. And I also see more Europeans come out with better looking fashion designs than Americans. So I do totally agree. Number 3, pop music. Well, I don't know much about pop music. Says here, there's something about Sweden that grows great pop stars. People known as Robin, Lykkili, Avicii, I think that's a DJ, and The Knife. Who the fuck is The Knife? All hail from the small Scandinavian land, as has behind the scenes the producer Max Martin, who has worked on hits from stars like Katy Perry and Britney Spears. I guess so. I don't know much about pop music in Sweden, or even in America. I don't really like pop music, so I will take your word for that. Saunas, like the hot stuff. Oh yeah. The sauna is a necessary amenity in a country with long cold winters. To do a proper Swedish style sauna, okay, stripped down. Nudity is no big deal here, but you can wear a swimsuit if you're uncomfortable. Sweat a while for the sauna, then jump into a freezing cold lake. It also helps to have a beer afterward or before. Jesus. All right, so I've had a beer while I took a shower, like a hot shower. That feels really good, actually. Like, you're just basically drinking like this really cold beer, and although it does taste a little weird with the foaminess and you gotta burp, it's good. Like, you feel the coldness down your throat and in your body while warm water is hitting your skin. It feels really good. Jumping into a freezing cold lake right after a hot sauna, I might have a heart attack. Or get some sort of 2nd, 3rd degree burns on my body. Isn't that kind of weird though? Like, coming from a straight hot room, like right into like, okay, so I mean, our bodies do produce oil, but if you see oil, when it's heated up and it's being fried on, or like fried with, it's bubbling and it's really hot. Throw water on that oil, everything just blows up. It literally just like creates this like, I don't know, I'm not a chemist, just creates this chemical reaction where the hot oil mixed with water just do not mix. They don't clash. They sort of split apart from each other. So when you add when you add hot oil with water, it's literally about to just explode in front of you because they don't mix. Just naturally, they don't mix. Me coming out of a sauna, all hot, steamed, fucking smoking from the body, straight jumping into a cold lake. I mean, more that I talk about it, the more sensible it becomes. It probably feels nice. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, it depends on how hot it gets in that sauna and how cold the lake is. I don't want it to be that hot where I'm like red skinned, like only breathing out extreme cold, extreme warm air, jumping into a freezing lake. I feel like my body would have some bad reaction towards it. But hey, if saunas make Sweden better than America, then shit, I completely agree. Now this one does make a lot of sense. The fifth reason is green living. Sweden has been named one of the most sustainable countries in the world thanks to the way that they promote personal health as well as care for the environment. The nation leads in recycling and purchase of organic foods by its citizens, and the government announced an ambitious plan to be completely oil-free by 2020. Why can't I live in Sweden? Why was I born here? You know, like I really want to go and be like, hey parents, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, guys? Why don't we live in? Why are we here? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? I don't know. Sweden, I'd love to. If I had the chance, I could move over to you, because I do not want to be in America any longer. All right, two stories. Another story and then lead off story to lead into the Florida man story. All right, so British model says she was kidnapped to be sold as sex slave. 20-year-old British model Chloe Ayling says she was lured to Italy with the promise of a photo shoot, then drugged, stuffed into a suitcase, transported to an isolated farmhouse, and held, at times in handcuffs, for almost a week. She told police the terrifying experience ended when her captor, who had threatened to hold her ransom or advertise her as a sex slave on the criminal dark web, decided instead to drop her off at the British consulate in Milan. What? Oh, the police have arrested a suspect, a 30-year-old Polish man who claimed to be a paid killer for a group called the Black Death. Lawyers says while the case is under investigation, he acknowledged on Monday that aspects of the case seems bizarre. He said investigators initially had, quote, more than understandable doubts about the model's story. Well, okay, so the more that I read into this article, it's just weird. It says here, it seems incredible that the lawyer told the Associated Press that a man kidnaps, together with others, a girl, and after a week, citing particular reasons, accompanies her inside of consulate and practically hands her over to the police. All right, so yeah, I didn't know about that. I was gonna go on and talk about the dark web and how sort of fucked up it is, and like, you know, I've never been on it, but I've seen videos of snuff and shit like that, which is fucking weird. Snuff porn is basically when you have sex with somebody, and at the same video of having sex with somebody, like either mid-sex or like post-sex, you kill them on like video. You kill them and then put that out all together for anybody from the world to see on the dark web. Then I've seen other videos of, you know, people dressed up as like panda bears, like emotionally torturing, probably physically torturing somebody, where he's being forced to eat something, and like the panda bears aren't saying anything. They're just behind the guy, and he's like crying, chained up, being force fed like some weird pudding thing, all crying. It's really weird. Then another video, you know, there's another one where you go on the website. It's a pitch black website. Some weird ominous music comes, but if you were to press Control A and to highlight all the text, it's like this red text that gets highlighted, and you know, it's about like 666 and like Satan, and like how you could like go through this website, and you know, you can just like find people's names, like a whole database of people. You just find names, and I guess it'll give you like weird information about it of it all. I guess regards of like race and social shit and like I don't know. And then there's weird funny stuff, where you can click on a link or like get on a website and start scrolling through live footage of like satellites around the world, and you can like directly have a live feed of the satellite, or you could hack into a company's database and hack people's information. You could easily hack a computer's camera, a laptop's camera, or cam, whatever, and hack it, see what it's being shown. Anything happens in the dark web, guys. Anything, and all you gotta do is just download a website or download a web browser. I think it's called Tor, .tor, and from there, you just open up the website, and then there's so much shit out there. Since the internet, we only use, I think it's like 5 or 10%. We only know and use 5 or 10% of the entire internet database. And then the dark web allows you to venture off onto every single website, every single corner of the internet. It's just you really need good, malware detection, because shit gets iffy in the dark web. Like you could click onto something that could give you some information, but could easily corrupt your computer and like slowly burn it if that's what it's being told to. You could click on a tab, and it could send coding to your computer over, and then just have it overheat. Your fan gets all fucked up, and then boom, that's only because you clicked on something. And that one something was like a program code that just launches itself into your computer and just does like a sort of a fuck, what am I trying to say? Just does an override and just heats out the computer. Like the dark web is some shit, guys. Selling people, selling drugs, how to make a bomb, buy bombs, all of that shit is in that dark web. So it's something like this where a model gets away with being sold off by somebody in the human trafficking through the dark web. She got off lucky. Why was she taken to custody like halfway there? I don't know. I saw a picture of her in a suitcase and her face blurred out. Yeah, of course that's hella fucked up. That's basically stealing somebody, putting them inside of a fucking briefcase and selling them off to somebody as a fucking human trafficking thing. That's horrible. But I'm just here thinking about how crazy the dark web is. The dark web is insane, man. Like snuff is nothing compared to the other shit you could find in the dark web. Fuck, like yeah, there's videos of like people beheading cats, throwing, there's back in the past people had a backlash of kids throwing like little puppies onto the water and putting small cats in the same cage as like a snake or like a scorpion. But people will pay for shit like that, and since it's illegal in some way, if you were to go to the dark web where most of the federal government and most of any government really have no control of, shit could go down. Pretty sure you could find like a live stream of, I don't know, you you just have to find a whole bunch of stuff, and you have to know a lot about coding too, because you can easily go through different websites with coding. Like I said, like the dark web has no real security around it. I'm sure you could you can make a code that goes through these encrypted websites, finds their sources, and you could easily manipulate the coding behind it. And I don't know, man. I'm just here thinking on some movie scale interactions with the dark web, but that shit gets serious sometimes, bro. And it does get scary. And I do want to get into it, and I do want to see what's in there. Because although I have seen some weird shit, I do also want to see some weirder shit. I'm not here to buy child pornography. I'm not here to buy bombs or anything like that. I'm just really interested in what the dark web has to offer, because holy shit, yeah, you could, like, I think people from the dark web hacked Ashley Madison, this website where people, like married people, could go off and cheat with their spouses. I think they hacked it because they had a whole database, and yeah, there's a whole website in the dark web where you could look through every single person that had an account on Ashley Madison, and you could see their information, their bank information, like whatever information they decided to put in the website. And that website you had to pay to use, so imagine that. I would love to get into the dark web a little more. Maybe one day I would get into it and, like, what am I trying to say? Like download the Tor website, the Tor web browser, and go in it. But for sure, it's not going to be on my computer. If I'm going to go on the dark web, I'm going to probably want to be on another computer. I'm not going to be on this one. Or on my own. So we have reached almost the end. We have one more segment. That's my favorite segment. And it's called Florida Man. Why do I do Florida Man segments? Because I'm from Florida. And as Charlemagne the God said, crazy people come from parts of the Bronx and all of Florida. I have two. I'm going to go through them really quickly. This first one is really, like, the guy just looks weird. Here's a photo of this Florida man. He is under arrest after deputies said he sent sexually explicit text message and a naked photo of himself to an 11-year-old girl. His name is... Wow, he's 22-year-old Christian Murcia Araujo. Sent an 11-year-old girl inappropriate text messages and the photo. The girl told the detective that Araujo told her she was pretty and asked if she had a boyfriend and requested a full body picture. She said no, don't you know I'm an 11-year-old girl. He decides to say fuck that, sends her a photo of his genitals and a fully clothed image of himself. I like his response. Alright, he says, when the mother asked why he would send a picture of his genitals to an 11-year-old girl, even if she'd asked for the photo, Araujo replied, because I'm an idiot. Well, guys, if you're 22 years old, I'm 23. I'm about to turn 24 in a month. I have yet to send a nude, and I guess I don't have any clout or, I have any credibility on the streets. I've never received a nude, but I'm not gonna go send my dick to an 11-year-old girl. How did this girl even look like? You look at girls every now and then, and especially in Miami, like, you see these attractive girls, and then they turn around, and you can see how young they look, and I'm like, whoa, do you look 16? Because holy shit, you might be really small and skinny, but you look like you're fucking 25. Like, yo, I don't know what, and it's not even about pedophilia. It's literally like, you look at these girls and like they're really, they're really good looking. I don't know if it's the makeup, I don't know if it's whatever, but, and of course, sometimes genetics happen earlier to others. I mean, not genetics, like puberty or whatever happens earlier than others. And I know a girl whose first time she had sex was like 15 or 16, and I guess that's not weird to other girls, because there's many other girls. I didn't have sex until I was 18, but all the power to any other girl who can just have sex whenever and shit. But come on, bro, you're 22 and you're sending a dick pic to an 11-year-old? Fuck is wrong with you, dude? That's fucking weird. Alright, so the last Florida man that I have is a very fucked up one, because I despise... Last week I had a rant about self-driving cars. This time I might have a little thing to say about old people driving cars. Alright, so here it says, report. A four-car crash initiated by an elderly Northwest Florida man has left 2 people hospitalized with serious injuries. News release says the incident on Friday, when William Wood, 88 years old, pulled his F-150 pickup truck down State Road 75 and hit the side of a Sierra pickup drive by 53-year-old. After that collision, Wood's pickup continued traveling, at which point it collided with another car, a Pontiac Grand Prix, who was 19. That dude was 19 years old. Oh shit. And then if that car of the 19-year-old, because of the crash, crashed into another car, which is a 2017 car. Yo, fuck you, fucking dumbass, man. FHP, I don't know who that is. Florida Highway Patrol noted alcohol was not related to the crash and that Wood was charged with failure to yield the right of way. All the people, what are you doing driving a car? Period. I've seen so many people on the road who can barely see, let alone be behind the wheel of a car. What the fuck, man? I see so many, like, oh my god. If you're retired, if you're the age of 60 and over, if you have a lot of white hair being curled around, if you can barely see, if you need glasses, if you have glasses that are bifocals, if you're very weak and you can barely stand up, if you can't even get inside of a car without the help of another, why are you driving on the road? Whose man's is this? Literally, if you can barely walk, if you can't even talk to a young person without getting pissed off, how are you going to go behind a wheel of a car? How? Who told you can? Just because in fucking Cuba, where people, buy old cars, spend their entire lives refurnishing, and then decide at their old age of like 90 years old, they're gonna take a stroll behind a street just to show off their car, only to see some hot bitches walk along and then to go back home and do nothing. What's the point of that? You're just driving for nothing. Where was this guy even going? An 88-year-old. If you're 88 years old, where are you going? The bathroom? You don't have to fucking drive that far to go to the bathroom, sir. What are you doing 9:40 p.m. on a Friday? Sir, you're 88 years old. What are you doing on a Friday night? You're gonna go out? Gonna go smoke some weed with your boys? You're gonna go play some pool? You're gonna go bowling? You're gonna go watch a movie? No, you're 88 years old. You should be sleeping by that time. No, let me get on my Ford F-150. Let me start driving down the road and think about life. Nothing but a good old drive at night, huh? Let's go cold a crack a cold one, put some old country music, and just let the road flow. With a fucking weird bullshit in the fucking music, in the radio. You're 88 years old, man, and you cause a 42 car pileup. Not really a 42 car pileup. Shout out to you if you know that Eminem lyric. Causing a 42 car pileup. It's a fucking 4-way crash. Well, a 4-car crash, not a 4-way crash. A 4-car crash. Fuck you, old man. Fuck you. Alright, guys, that's all I got for this week. Not really prepared. I guess I was prepared because I did some last minute shit, but I did intend on, recording this a little earlier throughout the day, but now I gotta worry about some shit. Later today, I got a meeting up with a band to discuss music video ideas. I haven't really, haven't had the time to sit down and listen to the music and, really go in depth to what I had in mind. But it's a hardcore band, and the videos that I've seen with hardcore bands, they're just in front of the camera and just rocking out and just singing and shit. So, and I don't think they've had any other videos in their slot, so we'll see how that goes. I'll give you guys an update next week. It wasn't really a topic that I wanted to talk about since I haven't really, I haven't really prepared for that. I just wanted to mention it just now. I will be here next week, and I hope you guys are too. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Peace out.